Look at this jealousy line. It's a thing of beauty. You guys want to know how to get this? Stay tuned. Check out my lawn care program. Hey everybody, it's Mike here, and welcome back to another installment of Jealous Lawn Care. And today we are not going to talk about stripes. I know some of you are very disappointed now because we're not going to talk about stripes. We all love it, but today is not really going to talk about stripes. It's going to talk about kind of a misconception that I myself, before I did lawn striping, I also had, and I'm sure a lot of you had, and I've seen it in comments on some other videos, not on my videos, but I just want to point out that, so this time I did not do lawn striping, this last time I cut. You don't see any stripes here. If they are, they're very faint from, last time I mowed. So I just want to point it out that mainly I want to talk about the colors of grass. Alright, so a lot of people, including myself in the past, used to think, okay, these people that are showing lawn care videos and striping videos, in comparison to their neighbors and other people in the area, are not as, they're just as green, but because the last line is always a dark line, that's what's showing it off. And yes, that's true a little bit, but the light stripes does not really match the light stripes on the neighbor's side. I'm probably not explaining it too great, so let me just show you that it's not just a matter of the stripes. So this time I did not do stripes. I want to show you all the difference in my lawn care program that I use for myself, and I want to show you the difference. So let me know if you can tell. So this nice greenness here, and you can tell where my lawn ends pretty clearly. And again, there's not, this striping is not from this time. This is from, the last time I mowed, which is, probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago almost. So you can tell a difference between this grass here and this. You can call it the light stripe here or the dark stripe. There's definitely a, differentiation, or you can call them jealousy line, but this is not just striping. This is actually a difference in color, straight out, because I use Milorganite. I take good care of my lawn, good soil content, so that's where it all comes out. And here's another view, so you will see a big difference here. Neighbors and my lawn. Big difference, with or without stripes, it really doesn't matter. It's very clear that, the program I'm using is actually working good for me. So I would definitely recommend trying it. Look at how nice and green this is. This is picturesque. So it's been a good year. And like I said before, I'm not big on watering. We have crazy high water bills here. I told you before that some of my neighbors are paying over $500 a month, which, in my opinion, just for watering and sprinklers, in my opinion, you should just be buying new sod every year. $500 times, what is it, six months at least of the season. We're talking, what, $3 grand? So, and now let me show you my other side. You can see here, you can tell already, without even walking close, where my yard ends. So here's my nice green lawn here, and there's the brownness begins. Now we'll get even closer here, and you can see it here. Here's the good point here, where I will show green side, non-green. Well, there's a very big differentiation line in here, or I like to call it jealousy lines. I'm sure you do see a little bit of striping, but that's, even with the light stripes, like I said before, it fails to compare with the other side. See the difference? My lawn, the other lawns, the competition. So again, I have not fully revealed my lawn care program yet. I have noticed, video by video, I've let you guys know what I've been doing at certain times of the year, but I have not fully introduced a lawn care program that I use yet. So I will announce that probably this coming winter, so stay tuned for that. Just right now I wanted to get as many videos in the summertime or fall while we're actually working on the lawn that's most relevant, and then I'll put it out in the winter time. Then hopefully a lot of you can start up on my lawn care program in the winter. I'm sorry, in the spring. All right, so just wanted to clear up this misconception. A lot of people probably think it, but maybe not many people, want to say it or bring it out, that, hey, it's a matter of the light and the dark lines versus the neighbors. And it's really not. So there's no question here about the color difference. And we can walk to the backyard too, see the same thing. We can do a quick walkthrough. I haven't done a walkthrough in a little bit, so you can see a walkthrough comparison if you want. All right. Again, in the backyard, I only mow single stripes, and like I said, this time I didn't even use stripes, just because I wanted to show everybody that it's just difference in color, so you can tell already how much greener it is here versus the neighbors here. Just wanted to point that out. And I hate using my neighbors as an example, but hey, my grass butts up to their grass, so that's where I have to, show off the jealousy factor. I don't have anybody else that can compare. So nice green all the way through. And then the competition. And it's pretty bright right now. I should have worn some sunglasses. So it's a pretty big difference from one side versus the other side. And like I've said before, you could tell all my photos and videos that I do is real. I don't use any special high-end cameras or special lighting, different filters or other trick photography, like I like to call it. It's just real pictures, real video, using just a simple smartphone is what I'm really using most of the time. So I don't like to show you guys something that's touched up photos like a Photoshop. In my opinion, that's not real. So I want to show you guys the real image, even if it doesn't come out as good as other ones do. So, and this is the reason why I like to do it, because it shows you what you really want to see, what you see in person. So obviously I don't want to keep pointing out my side-to-side neighbors, because there's obviously a lot of jealousy going on there, no question about that. So let's compare a little bit to the across the street. So their lawn's pretty good. These are the ones that are paying, both of these across the street neighbors are paying over $500 a month in water bill, so I hope their lawn is nice and green, hopefully greener than mine, but it doesn't seem to be. You can tell a difference in color contrast here. Theirs is pretty good overall, pretty good green. Theirs not as green there, a lot more browning going on there, so maybe their sprinklers aren't adjusted right or not enough. There's a lot of factors to be considered, but it's great to be able to show off a beautiful lawn like this without having to spend hundreds of dollars on water. Just put the right stuff down, soil, fertilizer, have a good soil base, and we'll go through that next year as far as how to figure out what you got underneath your soil. We'll do a soil sample test kit. I'll show you what that means, what all those numbers mean in there, and hopefully you guys can get a maintenance-free lawn like I'm almost achieving. So everybody's going to have weeds. You're going to have weed spot up here and there, but overall it's nice to have that nice thick lawn. It'll prevent weeds. It'll prevent a lot more weeds, so you don't have to use as much weed control. It's more up front, but it costs more up front, but it's less maintenance and less cost in the long run, because you're not going to be using as much weed control. You don't have to worry about diseases as much anymore, because once you start your mowing tips, which I also have a video on that. Check out my mowing tips, how to avoid disease, infestation, stuff like that. Like just simple. Figure might as well show off some jealousy lines here. This is the across the street neighbor. And you can tell a big jealousy line right there. They water religiously. I'm thinking they don't. And I know these people spend a lot of time and care on their lawn. I don't see them outside ever really working on their lawn. And then we'll come to my house eventually. Take a little walk right here. These are the people who usually have fantastic lawn, but this has all been trampled on because we got a new patio, new bricks in the front, sidewalk on the side. So they do have some disease problems, as you can tell right there. You know, that's not from the trampling, that was from disease. You know, there was a decent amount of that. And there's a little bit in the front there. But most of this is just trampled on. And we'll come back. And we're a house and a half away now, and you can already tell where my lawn starts. Gotta love it, right?